Hello, I'm just coming on a fraction before time just to give chance for people to find me and to make sure I was set up. Hope everyone's well. It's Angela for her craft and chat on Saturday the 13th of June, I believe it is. And yeah, I look as if I've gone live on my machine. So I'll give time for people to join in and I'll check if it's going live on in the group. Now, it does say Angela is live now, so that's great. And I've actually got it for a change. It was yesterday when we had Dawn on, Facebook was being a menace. But not today. So hi, Margaret. Hi, Patsy. Thanks for joining me. I've just come on a couple of minutes early. Just wanted to make sure it was all working today. I've got a nice, lovely little scene for you to look at while we let everybody join in. I think yesterday comments and such like weren't working very well, so we'll just have to keep our fingers crossed that today it is. So, hi Debbie, thanks for joining us. Hi Joanne. That's great. So we've got people coming in. Lovely. So just before I get started, I thought I would just do something with this little card from Dawn's window and door scenes, just as a little starter while we're letting everybody come in. So I've not cut it out completely, I've just cut it down a little bit and got myself some cardstock for the back that I'm going to pop it on. And then using the same cardstock, I've made a card base that will fit it because it's a big card. I just measured it up with what would fit. Did another piece that was a little bit bigger, folded over the back and stuck them together. So I've got my little card blank. And then we're just going to do this. So hopefully people will find us and join in. And I know it's a little bit early, so I had a really nice surprise. Well, not a surprise, it's just because I had forgotten. But Isla's come back for a couple of nights. She just needed a bit of help with some of her paperwork and admin. She's going to applying for her first flat for when she goes for a new job. So I'm just going to stick this on to that background, which I know is the same colour, but I'm just going for similarity today. And I just want to check that I get that roughly in the middle. Let's do that. That's it, lovely. Now, this kit is pretty beautifully gorgeous. So you can see I've taken this one from this sheet. I'll show you a couple more, just because they're extra beautiful. There's our little Lily. Bless her. So I just thought, I want to do something with this just as a little quick card. Let's see what we can do today. And then I thought, do you know what? Because there's lots of curtains in here, I think I might just combine it with the curtains. Hi, Carol. Thanks for joining us. Yes, we're just hoping that it all goes to plan. And I've got comments at the minute, so fingers crossed. That's a nice tall one. I like that one. So just showing you Dawn's windows and doors, which I thought I'd do a quick card from before we get started. And then I decided I would combine it with the curtains. So there's all different colours of curtains in there that you can look at. I think they go really well with some of the fairies and, the enchanted and such like. But I thought, right, I'm going to put it with this as a starting point. So I've stuck it on a bit of card. And then I've cut out my matching curtains and I've actually trimmed them down across the top so that they would fit on here. And the idea is that it's going to go like that on one side and like that on the other side. And I'm just going to take it over so that I cover the edge of there, but I butt along the top of that and I'll use some foam pads to stick that on. And I just then thought to myself, I wonder if we need a curtain pole of some kind to go with it. Hi, Julie. Just making a quick card while I'm letting everybody come in. So I decided I would put a little strip of gold along the top as if that's my little curtain pole. So that's what we'll start with. Just pop that gold in along there. So tonight is the sort of shape making card that I was requested to show from when I made think it was an octagon shaped one that I did with the bee collection for Dawn. It was actually a card that I'd made from a template thing that I'd made years ago. I'd matted and laid it, done it up, and then it's just been sat on the shelf and not being decorated, and I thought, oh, that would go nice with the bees. So I got it out and thought, yeah, that's brilliant. So that's what we're going to do as our main card today. There we go. So just going to put those curtains on. That's what we're going to do. So we'll get some of Dawn's. I'll put the lid on the glue before I forget. Got some of Dawn's rolled tape. So I'll put some along the top. She's got plenty of this at the minute. I think she was saying the other night, yesterday when she was on, she was using it. So I'll put a little bit on here. I might have a little bit that's sort of coming down over the bottom and the sides. I'm not going to go right up to the edge on this in case it doesn't need to be peeking out anywhere, because I haven't really sort of thought about that quite yet. So let's go with that, and then we can pop that on top of there. Lovely. And then the next one. So very simple. All it is the lovely scene and a couple of Dawn's curtains, which I've trimmed down in length to make it fit with the scene that I've got here. So if you want to, I think Debbie's already tagged, hasn't she, to get people to know it's happening. Fingers crossed people can find me today. Got a few of Albie's hairs in there. Now, because Isla's come home for a couple of nights, that might mean that Albie is happy and settled, because she'll give him a bit of attention where Wesley is busy doing other things. So it's probably better for him tonight. Right, let's put this on. Hi Sue, thanks for joining us. Just doing a little starter card. Keep us occupied while we wait for everybody to come in. Now, I just want to line it up a little bit, so bear with me. I just want to make sure that my top's lined up. Could do it on the side as well. Oh, I don't want it to go over that. I want it over there. I can always trim it if I'm not happy with it, can't I? I want it there and there. Sorry, it's because I can't get right over. Let me stand up. That's going to be easier. Now we'll be able to see a little bit better then. So it goes along the top and it comes at the side there. That's better. Just stand up so I can see. Oh, watch out everybody, bits of things are falling down. Hi Vivian, thanks for joining us. If I've missed anybody else, hello, thank you for joining us. And anybody watching on catch up, thank you for finding it and watching on catch up. So again, I'm just going to line it up so it's across the top, and I don't want to see any of the card on this side. I think I might have got a little bit showing, but I don't think it's much. Probably get away with that. There you go. So just thought we would put the curtains on this nice picture, and it would give us a start. So the next bit that I've done is I showed people who were here at the beginning, just made myself a base card using 2 bits of card, and I gave the other one a bit of a lip so that I could fold it over. I'm sure you all done that before. And then we're going to put this one on top, so all the blues are going to mingle in together and match up. That's it. There you go. So we'll stick that one on, and that's basically a card done already. Not a hard one. Nice scene. And I just thought I'm going to try those little curtains out. Not using the right glue today, I apologise. I've just run out of Dawn's and I'm using up what I've got because I just thought it was silly not to just use some of those ones for the time being, and then I can open my Dawn ones again. Let's just get over the top again. can't really see, but let's go for that. Does that look about right, about straight, guys? I can't see. Let's go for it. There we go. It might be a little bit wonky, but I'm sure you'll forget it is wonky. Oh my gosh, so wonky. Luckily it did not stick. Is that a bit better? That's a bit better. There we go. There's a little bit sticking up there and a bit of that's it, it's gone. Right, lovely. Oh, I've forgotten to do something else as well that I wanted to do. So take it off again. I decided I wanted a little bit of, because I'm not using Dawn's glue, I can do this, look. Don't use Dawn's glue, it doesn't stick. I decided I was going to have a little bit of extra bling when I did it plain like that. I just thought, oh no, I need a little bit of extra bling. So I'm going to put some of the lovely glitter card up to the top, which I've just cut down. Probably need a little trim down that side as well. There we go, and I'll put a bit down here. Hi Linda, hi Julie. Missed anybody else coming in, but hope everyone is well. Some people have had lovely weather today. We've had a bit of all sorts. It's not been that warm, but we had a little bit of rain, but then I think it's just been generally reasonable. Right, I'm going to stick this onto the base of this card as well, at the bottom. I think I am just a little bit off the width, off a little bit with me measuring on that. So I could probably cut a little bit down that side off. If I do it with my scissors, it'll probably make a mess, but let's just do it for now. I'll go back. Hopefully it'll just be hidden by the thingy, the curtains. Let's just do that. I think the curtains are going to hide it. There we go. So a little bit more bling. Hi Karen, thank you for joining us. Unfortunately, you can see why we need Dawn's glue, because these other versions are not as good. But if you're going to make a mistake, then it helps you a little bit. There we go. And then I'll just try and line up again. This is the bit I have to stand up. The glue will get dry while I'm doing it. Try and get over the top. I just want a little bit of blue at the top and a little bit of blue at the bottom showing. Try and get it a bit straight. Let's have a look, because we've got a bit of wiggle room, haven't we? I think that's all right. There you go. Ta-da. No worries. Hi Jackie. We're just doing a little starter before we get onto the main card that I've been requested for. I just thought I would stick some curtains onto the one of Dawn's lovely scenes. Now I have a feeling that glue is not going to be good enough to stick that down. Let me get a bit of what have I got? That one's probably better. That's not bad glue. Now you could put some stickles or pearly things on. I found a couple of these little beads off Dawn's thingies, what do you call them? Peacocks. And thought I'll just stick a couple of those beads on. Mind your fingers don't stick the glue down there like that. And it should dry clear. A little bit of that there. A little bit of this here. I've just seen your comment, Patsy, and I think don't anybody worry, because I know yesterday the comments were all over the place, so we might or we may not be able to see each other's comments. Hopefully they've fixed it. There, so just put those ones in. I couldn't find any oval ones, so I've gone for the teardrops, and probably get a little bit of stickles onto these little flowers. Hi Michelle. I came on a fraction early, and I just started to do a little card as a starter to give people a chance to come in. This one, I'm loving this as a sunburst. So it's a really yellowy, goldy one. It's nice for the inside of these little yellow flowers, which I think would be nice to put on there. It might even be nice just to do a little bit of blinging around this edge bit here. Just random dibbly dots. And let those dry, and it should look quite nice. Just a little bit of extra bling. Can't really go wrong with bling. Be quite nice on those because those little leaves are actually a bit yellowy, and this has got that sort of yellow goldy colour in, so it'll look nice on those. Just put a little bit on there. Just dib dib dib. So far, fingers crossed, I'm seeing comments, and I'm on the Dawn Bibby Crafting with Dawn Bibby group, so that's good. Because sometimes I have to go in my own page and find it. But it's looking like so far today we're on a roll with it. So hope everyone's doing well. I've had a good day. I have had a good day because my daughter's back to visit. If you hear anything in the background, I've left a little gap so Ali can come in if he wants to, but hopefully Isla will keep him company, and he'll be happy boy. But they're just going to watch a little bit of telly together. There you go, that'll do. I don't really need to do a lot on this. If I printed it out a couple of times, I could do some more decoupage, but just as a starter card, I thought that would be just a little nice one to have a go at. So it's quite a big one. But you don't really need to do a lot when that scene is so beautiful. I just thought I'd try the curtains and see what they were like. And I thought those blues went best with the blue sea. So there you go. Just a little simple one. You could put a nice liner inside. You could put your sentiment on. You could put sentiment inside. See what you think. But there you go, that's number one. So hopefully most people have managed to get in to join the live, and then we can do the card that was requested. I just wanted to give people a chance to come in, so there you go. Nice little card. Well, a nice big card, to be fair. It's not a little one, is it? I'm going to pop it up there and just leave it up on the top for me to have a look at, and then we're going to think about what we're going to do tonight. So the card that I had, obviously Dawn's got it. So I've made another one with a different shape to show you the principles of it. So I chose this one. I thought the cocktail collection would go really well with it, and it does. I've loved making this one. So I've used a pink sort of base, pearlized card base, and put some stencils on it, a bit of mirror card, and then gold and the toppers. And you can see, I'll turn it up that way so you can see it does that kind of shape. And it will fold to put into an envelope. This is probably a bit bigger than the DL because I've done it from the A4, but I've added little extra bits on. But I think it's just a nice card to do. I haven't done anything on this part here because I thought it lended itself well to like a 40th or a 50th, you know, like a special birthday. And I thought I was going to find a number and, you know, a sentiment of happy birthday, or a 70, or not a 70, maybe a 60 or a 50. I don't know. As people I know are coming up to 60 now, so, and a few are 50. So I thought it would lend itself well to that kind of card. But you can see it's quite a nice little card. So that's what I made just to show you today. You could change up the shapes and you could use lots of different collections. So that's using your cocktail couture, and it's the pina colada one. So the actual base of the card, the one I did for Dawn, I'd used, as I said, it was a template, but I've deconstructed it and worked it all out to make sure that you could do it with any shape you wanted to. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you it with any shape we want, really. So this is a piece of A4. I might use my blue pen again just so you can see what's going on. And the basic principles are that you would want it to be. I find it easier if this width here, the long width, is able to be divided by 3. So I want 3 equal portions in my card. So I think I have on this one, did I just leave it? Yeah, just left it as the A4. Now then the depth of it up this way, you can have whatever depth you want. And that is depending on the size of your toppers. If you want to make it specific to the topper, you can get a topper out and work out how wide your middle band's going to be, because we're going to have a band on the top, a band down the middle and a band at the bottom, and then the toppers are going to go in the middle. So if you want to do the easiest way, where you don't have to do very much of anything, we shall do first. So I'll get my little my scoreboard. I'll go into inches. And what we'll do is we'll go for, let's say I was using this one. My panel would be quite all right if it was about 3 inches. So you could go for 3 inches or 3.5 inches, depending on what size you're wanting. But you can go really with, just work it out based on the size of your topper, but it has to be, each panel is going to be three, is going to be thirds. Does that make sense? So I want 3 equal sections. So what we'll do is we'll do that with the scorer and the pen, so you can see. So I'll go down for 3. Oops-a-daisy. Not doing well with my scoring today. It's too big. Get the little one. Is that my little one? I think it's the same one, but it's working. 3 and then 6. I'll just do it like this for now. 3 and 6. And then I do need another one at 9. So I'll just put that up there. That should be right. So 3, 6, 9. Right, and then I'm going to cut off the end. Let's put the pen on so you can see. When you do it fancily, you don't really want to have all these score lines all the way down, in case you see them. But I'll just put the lines down so you can see where the card shape's going to be. That's what we'll do. This will just be used for something else. Let me just check I'm in the line of the number 6. There we go. That's number 6. That's number 6. Number 6. There we go. So I'll just do that down there. Now I don't need this end bit. This is going to be quite a narrow one, so I can cut that off. So we're going to be getting rid of that. Okay, don't need it. So 3 equal panels. That's what we need to start with. So let's get rid of the end because I don't need that bit. I'll just cut it with my thingy. There we go, down my little line. Brilliant. So that's got rid of that. Now the next part is you've got, if you see on the example, each of these little sections at the top, we've got another little bit going halfway down through that one and halfway down through that one. So we'll get the scoreboard again and we'll do the scoring and the scoring down. So half of 3 is 1.5, so I'll score down for you at 1.5. I'm going to go all the way down again just so you can see what I'm doing on that end, and we're going to do it the same on this one, 1.5 on this side. All right, let's go down with the pen so again you can see it. When I do this, I don't actually score all the way through, but I'm just showing you how to do it for the minute, so I want to just make sure you can see what the principle is of what we're making, so you know what your panels are. So you've then got that kind of shape that you're making. Hopefully you can see that with all the blues. All right, now we're going to go and turn the card because we want to have 3 sections here as well. So that would be up to you again. What I like to do is mark halfway. So when I got my A4 out, I actually trimmed this width to 8 because it was slightly over 8 for an A4. So I've trimmed it to an 8-inch, and then I'm just going to mark my 4-inch with my pen. So you can see that. We know where we are for the middle. This is our middle for diddle. There. Now I'm going to put my topper, let's say it's this one, is going to go somewhere on here. So it wants to be kind of either side of the middle line, and then we would put another one on and put another one on. So this is where things are heading, just so you know. There's the wrong colours really, to have to put them in different order, but that's what we want. So we need something in the middle for these to sit on. All right, and then we need some bits at the top for us to decorate. So I think we'll have 1.5 again, because that makes it easier. So again, I'm going to go and score everything again, but I'll show you in the next one, because I don't want you to score everything when you're doing your own, unless you're not bothered about seeing the score lines. So I'm going to do another 1.5 there. Whoops, I keep going over out of my score line. Let's do that pen so you can see it. So 1.5. There you go. And I've chosen 1.5 again, but that could be, you know, whatever you want to fit your card. You might want to cut it down a bit, but I'm doing it based on the size of the topper that I want. Now my toppers are going to go here, so I want my middle bit to have a little cutout. Let's show you on this one again. We're going to cut out a section here. So I've got that panel along here that is my 1.5, and you can see I haven't scored all the way across because I didn't want to see the score lines, but just so you could see what I was doing, I have. Now this is the panel here that we want to cut out, and this is the bit that you can make any size to fit your topper. So if you're not very confident and you think, I don't really know what I want to do, that I don't want to, you know, might not be able to get it quite right, you can just put a line down the middle. Let's go either side, we'll make it easy. So we'll have the topper, shall we go one, like say 1 inch either way. So we'll make like a little, yeah, we'll do 1 inch, just pretend that's going to be where we want it. So we'll do 1 inch away from the midline. So that's that 4, we're going to 1 inch. And that's the 4, I'm going to 1 inch that way. So I'll do my lines again for you. Look as if I'm not quite straight, but it'll work. And go down here again, some more lines. I'm only putting these blue things in to show you where the lines are, because you can't see my scoring. All right. And then we're going to need to cut things out. So for this one, to make it the easiest thing possible, we're going to get rid of these sections. You can see here. I'm hoping I'm explaining this correctly so you can follow along and get the idea of what you're doing. And again, we're going to get rid of the same on the other side. Scribble them out with my pen. There. So I'm going to be left with a band of card down either side, along the top, and a band down the middle which I can stick my toppers onto. All right, so we'll go for cutting this out. Just this is my example. That hopefully means you can do any size and any shape, and then we're going to actually do the octagon one, which I'll show you, and hope that that goes well. Have I got my little cutting mat somewhere? Where are you? Yeah, no, that's not cutting. That's not a cutting. Where is it? Hang on a second. I had everything ready except I forgot the cutting mat. Right, let me get this one. I've got another one. At the minute, it's got things on it, but let's hope I don't lose all the things on there. That's it. I'll just get this one out. So I'm not going to cut it all with the knife because I know a lot of you don't find the knife very easy to use. So you could cut those panels out with your knife and your metal ruler. Go down there and cut your bit that you want. But if you find that you can't do that very easily, can't use them, if you cut yourself a little cross in the middle first, you can then get your scissors in, hopefully, and cut it out that way. There we go. So let me get the little scissors in and I can get up to the lines. So just using my little cross I've made and just again up to the line. There we go. And then I'll pop along. I have done that one, so that's a bit easier for me because I've already done one side. Not quite all the way through. And then we'll cut down there again. So if you can't use your knife, you can use your scissors. There's another one that way. And we'll just go there. That's it. I'm not getting up as close as I like to because I do like using my knife, but it's fine. Once it's decorated, it'll be all right. There we go. So we've cut another little panel out and we'll cut the panel out of the other side as well. I can get up that line a bit easier this time. That's it. There. And then we need the other panel out as well. So let's get that one out. Sorry guys. Hi Karen, I see you've joined us as well. We're just going to go through, this is the principles of how to make the card in any shape, with any kind of topper that you want. And then we'll do the one when it's with the octagons. I'll just go down here. So that middle line, sorry guys, I'm going a bit wonky. This middle bit can be whatever width you want it to be, all right, to fit your topper. So that topper should fit on there all right and look okay. So you can make it narrower, or as in the case of this one, I made it wider and I've just cut narrow strips out. But that's the same principle. So hopefully you can see where we're going. And if I can get this loaded onto YouTube, you can then keep referring back to it. It'll be on Facebook for 30 days. But I'll remember to save it if I can, fingers crossed. It usually gives me, if I can't save it straight after the live, it gives me another chance before it deletes it, so I can save it. And then if you need to be spending a bit longer working out how to do this, then you can. But I'm going to leave all my little lines on this one because this is just my practice one for you. Right, so there's the shape. This is what we've made. Okay, this is what you need. So then we're going to do the folds. So you've got that first one where we made it into threes. Give it a little burnish and fold down the thirds first. I'll do both ways because then I know that it'll go whichever way I want. And the same again with the other third. There we go. That's it. I'm going to go the other way and just make sure that it's going to go where we want it to. That's it. And then we're going to do the same with the little bits here. So I want to go down that one and fold. That's it. Give that one a little go, and that one a little go, that one a little go. And we've got them all in. Yeah, there's another one. Let's just go. Go, go, go. We do really need all of them. So actually, if you wanted to have a card a completely different shape, I could make it that shape. But I'm going to bend it back. I'm going to bend that one back. And I'm going to bend that one back. And then I'm going to bend that one over there, bend that one over there, bend that one over there. So I'm doing it on the top so you can see that we've then got our shape panel. Now, what I am going to say is, what I forgot to do, is if I want these panels to stay straight here, I just want that one. Oh, I think I've done it wrong, but have I done it wrong? Let's have a look. No, I haven't. I've done it right. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's it. I'll show you the straight panels. It's because I'm putting different ones on. So I'll be putting that one on there. Oh, I've lost my little fella that I lost. Put that one on there. Put that one on there. And then decorate all the little bits. Let's not put it on properly. I'll just put one on there for you in the middle. So I'm going to put it in that middle panel. And I want that one. I know this is not actually what it's going to be doing. I'll take it apart later. I don't want to waste any of my toppers, but it's just the idea. So I can show you the way that we're going to fold it. Because I don't want it to go wrong. Now they're not in line either, because I'm just doing this quickly. You're going to decorate each of your little segments. We're going to do that together shortly. There. So say we've got those 3 there. I want them to be straight. So I don't want really to be scoring down that one or that one. Can you see this side? So when I said I didn't want to score all the way through, I don't want to score there because I want those bits to stay flat if I can. So those 2 if you're making it. But to be fair, it's still going to be all right. You just might need extra foam pads and things on to make sure it stays, because it's wanting to sort of bend all over. Right, now you can see what we're going to do. Those 3 panels in the middle, and then that one back, and that one back, and that one forward. That's it. There you go. So that's what you do for any topper you want. You just make a band across the middle, the width that you want your topper to be. So we could make it even narrower. And you want a band at the top and a band at the bottom. And then you've got your folds are in thirds, and then half of the 2. The end one panels are in half again. Watch it back. So we want thirds, 3 panels, the same width. And then you're going to have half of that panel scored at the top and the bottom, half of that panel scored at the top and the bottom to make your card. Hopefully if we're doing it again, it'll all make more sense. But that's what we're going to end up with. Yep. So I'm just going to pull them off because I'd rather use those properly and decorate this properly rather than them end up it not being done properly, because those are nice little toppers. These are from Dawn's like watercolour flower selection. Unfortunately, I'm managing to get them off there and stick my bit of things back on. There. Now if you're using your blue pen, you would just then heat this all up and all of the marks disappear. My little pen is a one used by dressmakers and such like, so that they can mark the material and then you just heat it and it disappears. But I wanted to use it today so you could see where all the marks were. Yep. So I didn't really need, you know, all of those score lines, but it helps when you're learning how to do it, to put all the score lines in. Right, any questions on that bit? That's the main basic shape that you need. And we're going to go on to the next one using my hex octagon die cut shape. So hopefully that made sense. Fingers crossed. Let's see if we can make it again. Right, so leave that one to the side. And here we've got some things we've made earlier. It's like Blue Peter. Right, so I've got some hexagon die shapes. Now you can use these are octagons, sorry. You can use your hexagons. The reason I had done octagons was because that's what I already had when I made the card up for Dawn. So that's what happened. That's the only reason why it was octagons. You can do them with hexagons if you want, but I think it's probably easier as well to get the because you've got nice edges then, to make it easier. You can do it with these. I'll show you with the octagon. Can you see that on there? Let me get a coloured bit of paper. I've got bright pink. Can you see on that? So you can see on this octagon, I've got a nice flat top, a nice flat edge. So when I'm coming to make my 3 little sections, I've got a nice flat edge for each section that's going to go along. If I'm going to use the hexagon shape, which is this one, sorry, they're the octagons. This is the hexagon shape. Then you're going to need your point at the top and the bottom, and your side is straight at the side, so that these then connect with each other. So they're not the right size octagons because I'm going to use the same one, or hexagons, but the sides are going to go together. And the same again, if I'm using my octagon, my sides are going to go together. Now I've chosen the biggest one there that I've got that I know will fit nicely in my card, and then I've got a couple more that are going to be my matting and layering ones. So you can choose which one you want. I'm going to do the octagon because I think it's an easier one to start with. So let's put them out the way because I don't think I need them. I just need the biggest one. Now I've also, on my big one, I've done a little bit of marking. I used a proper pen this time so it wouldn't come off, and I've marked halfway on each side. So you can see I've done a little green mark with a pen, just an alcohol marker. It's not going to affect this when I use it to die cut, and I'm just using this today as a shape. So you can use any shape that you've got, but this is my shape I'm going to use. Somebody's coming in. Sorry, oh, it's Karen. Karen, we've seen Karen. Hello, Karen. So that's what we're going to use today. Right, I'm going to get the this one again. Just get my bit of white card again. We'll use that. And we'll see if this is the business. Right, again, what I did, the only thing I did with my A4 piece of card, which I do believe that what this one is, I cut it down to 8 inches so that I'd have a nice easy measurement on this side. And I can just pop my little 4-inch mark again on the side here, so I know where my middle of my line is, because I'd like to know where that middle is, because I'm going to use it to line up my shape. This is where these pens can come in handy, but you could also use a pencil. So I might actually turn it over to the non-shiny side, in case you're getting any glare. So I'll just get my 4 inches again. So I like to know where my middle of this side is, so that everything at the top and the bottom is going to be nicely positioned. So that's the 4 inches there. Right. Now this is going to make the first panel. So I'm not going to do anything yet, scoring. I'm going to start with my drawing round. So I'm going to butt it up against the edge, make sure it's there. And for this shape, I'm going to go to the middle point at the top. I'm not going to colour around all of this. I'm just going to go where I need to. So this is what you've got to follow. Would suggest that you have a practice run on a piece of copy paper first, if you're not sure. So I'm going to go across half of it, down that full side, and then down again. I don't need to go down. I just go to the point, sorry. So from halfway, along the bottom halfway, up the full bit of that side to the corner. That's it. All right, then I'm going to take this one back again. I'm going to line it up with my 2 points there where I stopped. Okay. And I'm going to do this bit. This is my centre section. My centre section, I'm going to go all the way along the top and then back down to that point. Hopefully you can see. And then I'll do the same again here. I'm coming from there down to the bottom, along the bottom and up, oops, and up to the middle bit there. That's where my points are. Make sure I can see them. And then the last one again. So use your pencil or use your pen. And we're going to line it up again there. And I'm going to go up and along only to the middle line there, and then I'm going to go down and I'm only going to go to the middle of my side there. So that's the shape I've then created. All right, on this end, because I haven't got a side, so this end, my side is the side of the card. This one I haven't got a side of the card, so I'm going to get my line up here and I'm just going to go like that down there. And that's going to be the side of the card. So hopefully you can see that. I'll then take that line all the way up the top and the bottom where you can see it. And then I'm going to cut this off because I don't need that bit. All right, and you'll see why. I'm only wanting these sections. I'll show you when we do the next bit. You'll realise why I'm not going around all of the shape, because I'm trying to get it all cut out so that when it folds, these panels are full panels. Hopefully that'll make sense in a minute when you see. Right, so from the edge of here, hopefully you're following on okay. What I did for this one, I just went to my points. I'm going to stand up again. Sorry, Albie, are you coming in and out? I'm not sure where to go. Don't know whether to come to me or Isla, do you? Right, so what I did was from those 2 points there, I have gone, I think it was just, let me see how many I did. Just a second. Yeah, I think I just did like a ½ an inch. Just a ½ an inch that way and a ½ an inch that way. I'll do the same on the other side, ½ an inch that way, make sure I get on the right dot. ½ an inch that way. Get on the right dot because I've gone in just a second because I smudged it. It's better with a pencil sometimes because you're not going to smudge anything. There. I've done it again. There. ½ an inch that way. Okay, so we've done that bit. And then I'm going to join the lines. There we go. So go down there. Hopefully you can follow along if you do this on catch up where you can pause it and have a go. Join the lines again on that one. That's it. And then you can see now the bits that we're going to cut out is all of this bit. There you go. Can you see that? I'm going to cut those bits out. All right, and we should be left then with the bones of our hexagon, octagon shape. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't know where my lid's gone for this pen, so it might be going to dry up, but it's all right. I think that's all the pens I need at the minute. So there you go. That's the bit that we're ready to cut out now. So let's go up here. Cut the bit off the side we didn't need from the measurement. I hope this is making sense. I think you've got to actually have a go and do it, and then it all works nicely. That's it. And then we're going to have a go in the middle of here. I'm going to cut those bits out. So again, we could cut work cross just with our knife. So you can then use your scissors and do one either side. Or you can use your craft knife and cut them all out completely. So let's just go here There we are. Should be able to cut it out. This is probably the fiddliest bit of doing it. There we go. Sorry, my scissors. These are the ones that are always stiff. I need to get some whiskers like Dawn. I'm not using the smaller ones because I thought, oh, it might be a bit much for my big ones. Go in a little gap. There we go. And go in there. There we go. Much neater if I use my craft knife, but I'm just trying to show you that you can do it if you haven't got the craft knife, or you can't use the craft knife. But it's actually quite tricky with this thick card to do it without the craft knife. So I'm going to have to do a lot of tidying up there, aren't I? It's quite a narrow space. I'm not doing well with them scissors. Just me trying to prove to myself that I am going to be able to do it without using the craft knife. I shall indeed do it successfully. There you go. I think I was coming from the wrong side for my hands. I was cutting it as if I was left-handed there, I think, but using my right hand. So I wasn't going, I like to be on this side of my line. So it was going a bit wrong. That's it. I can tidy that up nicely. There we go. Hi Sarah, thank you for joining us. We're just learning how to do the octagon card. Oh, I've been waiting for the bus, oh dear. Right, I'm going to cut along here to the middle point. There we go. And again. That's it. And I might do the other one with the scoring. I might manage it a bit quicker. Well, my rulers, I've eaten my ruler with my knife, definitely. Must have been a really good sharp knife. There we go. So we've got rid of that panel. Be happy to know that I have got another one already ready for the next part. Well, it's a good job you managed to get your bus and you're here now, so that's good. There we go. Oh dear, I am wonky on my ruler as well. But there you are, we'll be fine. Go to there. I'm going to be bringing all of this out, aren't I? So I'm just going to go all the way down there. All the way down there. Oops, a daisy. Watch your ruler doesn't move like mine did. I've had this ruler a long time. I think I might need a new metal one because I've eaten the edges up quite nicely. Right, have I done that all right? Look, I'm a terrible person for being impatient, aren't I? I'm making a mess. I get it all the way, a little bit there. A little bit there. That's it. And then we'll go and get these bits out. And then we'll do the scoring. So for this one, I've done all my cutting first because I find it easier with the shape when I'm actually doing a proper shape to do all the little drawing around like this before I do any scoring. And then I get my scoring in the right place. Oh my gosh, I'm not with it today, am I? Better than I was last week, like, I do believe. There. Magnetic cutting mat and ruler. Oh, that sounds nice. I shall investigate that. Yeah, there we go. That would make life easier, wouldn't it? So now we've got our shape. We can get rid of my blue marks, or you would rub out your pencil marks. Let me get rid of them. Where is the... Oh, the heat gun's just here. 2 seconds. That's it. There you go. Hopefully that's all gone. Did you hear I'll be there? Yeah, he's through in the other room, but Isla's here, so hopefully he'll be behaving himself and not being too much bother tonight. Right, okay, let us go to the scoring now. So we've got our 3 panels, and I know, am I on the inches? Yeah, I'm on my inches. Let's have a little look and see where we're at. So I can do this bit here because I can see the line where those 2 meet. So I'll go down there, and then I should be able to then do the one above and the one below. Now you're not going to see this very well because I haven't done it in pen this time, but I'm scoring down to get my thirds that we needed. And I'm just lining up the top of this and the bottom of this so I get it in a groove where I want to do my fold. There we go. And then I'll go up in the same line to get my other third down. There we go. All right, and then on the next part, all we need is a line from here up to the top. So I'll see whether that lines up with anybody's groove. Line up to that one. Yeah, I think it does. Get that in that groove. Hang on a second, I probably need to do it at the side. I'm being a bit... got that one. That's it. So I've got my one at the top and the bottom, and again on the same on this side. I'm not able to go right to the edge because it isn't quite on my board. I'll just get them lined up. That's it, that one, that's the one, and then hopefully it'll do the same down here if I'm straight. Nope, not straight. There. Right, so I've scored the first little bit on the top line, and then the next second one. I've got a nice big panel there. Score and score. Scored the thirds on the octagons and the same on the bottom. I've got my third, my middle panel isn't just got that one big panel, and then the edge ones I've scored down the middle of them. All right, so now we can do folding again. So I'm going to start with my these ones and just get them right. This one as well. Get them all done. And then this one, I only want to go back over on there, back over on the end. You can see that. I'm not wanting to do it back over on that one because I want that middle bit to be flat. And then that one is coming over, and that one's coming over. And then I'm gonna lie it down so you can see I'm kind of going to fold this one over, and I need that one. I'm making a pig's ear of it, but I'm hoping that you're following. There we go. And then another one here, folding back. So we'll work out what we've got, mountains and valleys. So I've got a mountain at the top and the bottom on the first panel. Then my middle panel's gone right back to valleys. And then the end panel again, I've done another mountain. And then this one, we're going to go mountain, valley. So this one's a valley, like that. So when I fold it all together, hopefully that makes sense. Oh, hi Tracy, hi. Oh, it's I think it's Michelle on Delightful Handmade Cards, if I remember rightly. Was it from last time? There. So we've got our little concertina shape and we've got our panels. So I've got a front hexagon, my middle one, my back one, and my little bits coming in. So there you go. Hopefully you've followed that when it's out flat. And then I'll just get rid of that little bit that I don't like there. Get rid of any little scratchy bits you've done by accident. There we go. Hopefully you've followed it in some form. Oh, Sarah's asking if there's a spare scoreboard from anybody to go to a friend who's just making new cards. That is a shame because my spare one has gone to the charity shop about maybe a month ago. So check the charity shops, maybe they'll have some. Right, so there we go. We've done the shape, ready to decorate. Any questions on that part? If you have a go, do it on a bit of copy paper, and then doesn't matter what happens. I know you can just have a little play around and get your folds right. So I did this, you know, when I was playing around, just had a bit of cheap paper and I just cut my middles out and had a play with the folding on that one. So I always do that if I'm making something new that I've not done before. I'll have a go and see what's happening. Hi Lorraine, thanks for joining us. Hope I haven't missed anybody else. Had a crafty day today, lovely. And bracelets as well. Brilliant. Okay, so say this is our card base. I'll be cutting out my mats and layers, and because I used my die cut shape to create the sorry, that's a hexagon. Because I used my die cut shape to create the card base, as you can see, then I'm just using the ones that are on the inside of there to do my mats and layers. So when I come to do the mats and layers, I can just measure them using those, get them cut out of my cardstock. And then for the other parts, I'm just going to measure them and work out what size squares I would like and rectangles I would like. But what I've been doing with the first stage, when I get to this stage, I've been decorating it by stenciling. So I thought I would just do that today again to show you what I've done. And again, I used Dawn's Flourish, and I did look on the page online, and I think this one was available when I looked the other day. So it's one of our blooming blossoms, I think. I don't remember the name. Have I got it here? I think it's this Beautiful Blooms Leaf Flourish stencil, and it was on the website. Yeah, there it is. So it was on our website the other day, available. Didn't say it was out of stock. So I quite like this one at the minute. This is my little favourite stencil of the moment. I'm going to go for my purple again, because my bees are yellow and purple and orange and colours like that. You could do a little bit of a mixture really. So come straight off your pad, or if you prefer, pop some ink onto your mat and go from there. But I don't mind really whether it's heavy or not. So really the bits that are going to show are going to be the bits around the edge. So I probably don't even need to do all of these bits. I can just concentrate on going around the edges, because I'm going to mat and layer. I'm going to put it on heavy enough for you to be able to see it. You can do it a bit more subtly. You don't have to go quite so heavy. But I'm really just going to concentrate on the edges that might peep out because I don't need to do every bit. Around there, around the side. I'm going to move it down because it's quite a good one. It's very forgiving. I don't need to worry too much about where I am. Put that there. And that's it. So I'm just going to go over the whole lot. I've done it quite heavy so you can see it. Yeah. You could always come in with any other colours you fancied. You could do the, you know, if you're doing your hexagons properly like a proper bee, you could go in with your honeycombs and things like that. Anything you like. Yeah, well, Julie, actually the one I did for Dawn is one I made years ago, and I'd done it from a template, and it was smaller than this, and it had just sat on my shelf not being decorated for donkey's years. I'd got the template and I thought, oh, I'll have a go at that. Did it, decorated it, put some mats and layers on, and then it just sat. And then that was the one I ended up thinking, oh, that's a good colour and that's a good shape for bees. So that's how that happened. But then because everybody wanted to know how to do it, and I thought, well, you haven't got a template. If you don't want to go out and buy one, then you can learn how to make them yourself. I don't mind doing the deconstructing to help you be able to do it. So I'm going to do that all over the card, and then I'm ready to decorate. So just like in Blue Peter, put that one to the side. And here's one I have prepared earlier. So I've done this, and I've done some of my stenciling on already, done quite pale. I've also been and got my die cut machine, and I've cut out some toppers. So I have cut out 3 octagons that are going to be on each of those panels. I'm going to stick them down. I shall see, I may have time to start that TP card, Sarah. I've watched a video from Sam Colcott, which I found on YouTube from about 6 years ago. She credited somebody who she'd seen on the video about 10 years prior to that. And the way she did it, I thought, oh, that looks nice and simple. So you can find Sam Colcott on YouTube doing a TP card. So you can watch that if you'd like to, but I will see if I can remember what she did, if we've got time to do even just the base of it later. So I'm just going to stick all these on. When you're not at an angle like me, make sure you're lining things up so your tops are nice and straight, because it will look better. I've got some of Dawn's lovely purple card. Shiny, shiny. And that'll go with my purple stencil in the background. There we go. And then I just cut out some of her, what do you call them, Miss? Some of the background papers from the Be Happy. And they're in the same. And you can stick them flat or you can raise them up. It's up to you if you want to do things flat or raised. But because I've cut round that octagon, sorry, I will say hexagon, because I've cut round that, I've got these lovely, nice, easy to do mat and layers already done. Ask Sam King, she's doing, oh yes, Sam's doing a declutter sale. See, she's got a scoreboard, and I'm not using the right glue, so I apologise that this will probably not be sticking as good as Dawn's, but you'll just get the idea. I kind of feel as if there is the right way up for some of these daisies, so pop them on. There we go. And just get those matted and layered up there. And then the other bits we need to find some shapes for. I don't know if I did prepare these or whether we're going to make them now. Let's have a look. You can see in the one I did here, and it's the same. For the top section, you need like a longer, narrow one for top and bottom, a little square, and then a rectangular one. But because we've got hexagon, we'll probably want a bit of a shaped one. So let me see just what I have already made before I cut any more nice card out, because I don't want to use any of my lovely card that I don't need to. Oh, I was looking for that. So just bear with me a minute. I have got my little things here, look, ready. I thought I'd got myself organised. Lilac lace doilies, bee embellishments and mats and layers. So I'll show you what I've done here. So again, I've got my little bit of card. So these should all be ready to go. I'll show you the easier ones. So I've just measured what size this rectangle is, taken it down a bit, and then made my corresponding mats and layers to go in there. I've done one for the bottom, one for the top. There we go. And these square and rectangle ones are nice and easy, so I'll be putting those on there, and I'll do those. We'll do those in a minute. Let's put all the squares together. That one and that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need 4 of the squares, or slight rectangles. They're not quite squares actually when I've measured them out. And 4 of the purple layers. And then we need our funny shapes. So let's work out how I did those. So I want to put, to make it all match up, I'd like to have my nice hexagon-y type shape going on there as well. All right, so what I did, I do believe that I used my, is it the smaller mat there? That one. To get like a little shape off a piece of card. Have I got a bit of scrap? Don't want to use good card, do I? What's that? It's a bit of scrap. Right, so let's get that. So I worked out what size I wanted it to be. Let's get a straight edge for a start off. I'll just do this quickly to show you. Worked out what size I was wanting the width, like Dawn does with her little snippety snips. Let's snip up there to get roughly a piece that I'm going to use to put in the bottom. All right, and then what you can do is you've got your little shape there for that. We can then mark that out with a pen or a pencil. And that will just help me get the shape down off my mat and layer. And that should be, that probably is what I did. I can't remember now, but I'm imagining this is what I did. There we go. And then just cut that bit out. Oh, I didn't remember to line up the bottom. I know that's on, got that. So then I can pop it in here where I want it. And then I'll be able to work out that I then want to come up a bit on the bottom and cut that bit off. So I know that's in the wrong colour for you to see very easily, but you can see I've then made the shape that's going to correspond with that. Yeah, once I got that, I then just drew round it. So I just made my 4 shapes. Because this is double-sided, it didn't matter. I could draw around it to get my 4 shapes, and it didn't matter which way round it was. So hopefully that makes sense. So that's how I did these bits. And because we're going to just pop them all on. So make use of your little shape. So let's just stick everything on. This is where I do like to be above and below again, so I can see what I'm doing. I might stand up. Oh, I know, look at me organised today. I actually did all of this bit on the beginning of the week when people were saying, oh, can we do this card that you showed that was on the live. I mean, I probably should have done it like that. I feel like I want to chop the top of my line off now, because then it looks like it fits nicely there, like a, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. I might have to do a bit of trimming to get it right, because I like all the lines to match up nicely. But yeah, I did it earlier in the week, and then I've been fiddling and faffing with other things this week. Try and match it up again. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and do that. I might cut the top and the bottom off a little bit, just to make that look a bit better. Have I done these the wrong size then? Because I'm not using the right glue, I am going to go up a bit, because I don't want to have to cut any more new ones. But you could, if you want to make it look better, I think that would be better if that was matching here. Do you know what I mean? I like that better than, oh, just, you know what, I'm going to do it. I like it better like that. So what we'll have to do is just trim these other little fellas to make them probably match a little bit. So they might all be slightly wonky now, because I'm going to stick them along there. Let's get them all matched up. I hope that made sense, Jackie, trying to get the shapes for the end piece, because I just think that it looks better. Now I've put that on, I like the fact that it matches up better there. So I'm going to make my little rectangles a bit smaller, and I'm going to cut the top and the bottom of the card off so that they all go. And I'm trying to then line my top and my bottom up, which are probably now a little bit wonky because I was using my trimmer to cut shapes, and now I'm just roughly doing my scissors so that we get this done for the live. So don't necessarily do what I'm doing. Well, I was ready for this one because I just worked out how to do it and thought, right, I'll get all the layers and things ready, and had my little stenciled shape all done. But then I was thinking, oh, what else am I going to do? Because I like to do a little something. So I'm not quite, I've watched the video for Sarah's card, but that one I'm going to just see if I can remember it. I just might need to do those a little bit. I'm going to just go with those being wider because I don't want to faff about too much. There we go. Right, we're going to go for it now. Okie dokie. Let's go in there. So make sure I put the glue on the right side. I'll see if I can remember how to do the TP card shape for Sarah so she can see. I did make an effort and watch the video. And I'm hoping that I remember, because it didn't seem to be too complicated. Remember to check which side to put your glue on before you stick it down. All right. There, because I'm lining up. Now I'm lining up my little edges better. That's it. So I'm going to do the same on here. I'm going to line up my bottom to that bottom on that one. I might need to cut those centre panels down a bit. We shall see. This one's a bit wonky, but I'll have a go. Getting that one in. Yeah, they're all a bit of the wrong size now because of me faffing about with it, but hopefully when you do it, you won't change your mind and faff about trying to cut things so they match. I'll take that down a bit, actually. It might not look so bad. All a little bit off. I think we'll be all right. There we go, and then I'll put these ones on. So it might not all be lining up brilliantly well now because I've faffed about, but you get the gist of it. And you can see why you don't need to really stencil every single portion of the card, because we're only seeing the bits around the edge. And my base card is just some old stash that I'm using up that I had. That's a bit wonky as well. Just do you a little bit straighter there. Oh, I don't know. That'll do. Slightly on the wonkiness. That'll do. And then we'll pop these ones in, which are not quite the right size. But we're going to be covering everything up in a minute. Are we not? We are indeed going to be covering everything up again. So let's put the next layers on. Oh, night, Helen, are you not feeling well? I'm going early. I hope that you're all right, and whatever you've got on Thursday. Oh, is that your scan on Thursday? Well, I hope it goes well. Fingers crossed it's okay. I just shut my eyes when they do them. I don't look at anything, and I just try to think of some other things. So the noise of the scan I had, I try to use the noise as well to remind me of nice times when I'd had all that noise, which is a bit strange. But I was thinking about being on a boat because the noise was sort of like an engine. So I tried to zone out of what was going on and just think about nice things while I was in there. And it seemed to work for me quite nicely. Let's just stick all these on. I haven't cut everything down, so let's just hope for the best. I'm sure it'll be nice. And then we can do a bit of decorating. So the plastic wallets sound a good idea, don't they? Did you just go to the big river place, or have you gone looking for other things? See, it's not as good glue as Dawn's, is it? It just does not stick the same. I can't really recommend Dawn's glue highly enough. Once you've used it, nothing else is good enough. Now that one's the wrong way around. I haven't been careful enough. That daisy's slightly upside down for me. Never mind. Oh, that was nice to have headphones. No, they didn't give me any. They put headphones on to stop me from hearing as much, so to block out the noise. But I didn't have any music. It was just like noise protection, really. So I was just imagining the nice being on a boat on my holidays, floating around. That's going up. That one can go down there because it's a yellow one. There we go. Oh, buy them in the home of the bargains. Yes, that's a good place to go. We have a B&M at our place, so I might go and have a look in there because they have that kind of thing, don't they? They have all the boxes. Oh, is it different for? I had an MRI, so CT's maybe different. I'm not very au fait with all the ins and outs of things that happen with scans. Anyway, my scan has come back abnormal but expected. Therefore, I do have a meniscus tear, I'm expecting to be told, in my knee. So if it's a bad one, they will go in with keyhole and sort it out. If it's not a bad one, he will inject it with steroid. So I'm going to see him next Friday. So I feel better actually that I haven't just made up the fact that I have a bad knee. Right, I don't know, that's all going to stick on properly because I'm not done. So let me go on the other side. Oh, I've done it on that side as well. Made it all look nice. I must have been having a nice time playing. I'm just going to burnish on the back because sometimes when these glues aren't as good, you can burnish on the back. It helps it all stick down in all the areas. There we go. I made the back look pretty. So then I could stick like a little white cutout on there from my die cut for being where you would write your message on, and I could put more, a little bit of a message on the back. Right, there we go. So we've got the base of the card. It still will fold up like that to go into your big envelope, your tall envelope. If you want it shorter and smaller, just use smaller octagons and shrink it down that way to get it in your envelope. But I've stuck to the A4 size just so you could see it easier, and it's a nice easy way to do it when you're learning, is just A4. Always better when we know exactly what we're dealing with. I like to know all the details of what's going on with my body. Yes, I do as well. So I'm hoping he's going to let me see whatever information he's got on the scan, because I like to be nosy and see what's what. Right, there you go. So that's basically the card done. And now it's just the nice bit of decorating. So I have got some bits and pieces. I did cut things out. I don't know if you really want to watch me do all of this, but we could do some of it, couldn't we? Because I don't think I've got every mortar thing cut out. I'll bring them all out on the desk anyway, and we'll see. Now, I had an accident with my printer when I went to print out some of my lace. I've run out of ink, so I've now got some lovely lilac doilies and lace. So these might be nice to use, because they'll go with the colour palette as well. So that was a very happy, nice accident. And I actually did use it on my, I did the front part of Dawn's book the other day, you know, off the workshop. I haven't got very far with it, but I did the front, and I did that background on there with some of the accidental lilac lace background. So I popped that on. Haven't run any of my little blingy bits on yet, but thought that was nice in the background. So that was a nice happy accident. And I'm just busy decorating. I haven't finished that, but I do think they're a lovely colour. So it's almost like it was meant to be. This was I discovered it when I went to print out some of the sea treasures, and the sea treasures are not quite so good if you have them all in lilac. There's no blue in, but I then thought, oh, I'll do with some of the lace instead, seeing as my printers, just to finish off the ink, really get everything out of it I can. So I've done loads of little bits here. What I tended to do with the one that I made was also back them onto the gold. So I'll show you the kind of things I wanted in the middle. I thought it would be nice to have a little beehive and a little honeybee kind of thing there. Sweet as honey or be happy, go for honey. We've got a little tag that we could use in the middle. We could put, I think I put 2 of those on the middle section. But you can see when I put them on top of the coloured paper that's in the background, it's sort of lost a bit. So you need to have something else that it's on top of. So you can see I did the same with the cocktail one. So on the cocktail one, I put a bit of bling in, matted it onto the gold as well. And then each of the little bits I've also put onto gold, just so they stand out. I poked a little 3D pineapple in that one. And I put a little extra umbrella on that one, but I think they just pop out a little bit more. If you're eagle-eyed, you'll see that there's 2 different colours of mirror card that I've used underneath there. And that's because I was doing it in slightly dark, late at night. And I picked up different colours where I thought they were both pink. And one was like a purple and one was a pink. So I thought, well, I'm not going to waste them. So I did it as a mixture. So I'm very, very good at happy accidents, making them work, just having a go. So we'll do a little bit of decoration on here because we've still got some time, might as well. And then if you've got any more questions or anything about that card shape that we've done, you can ask. I'll try and keep an eye out on the thingy, on the chat, and if anybody's got any things that are doing nice over this weekend. Ooh, any fun for a drink? I thought actually I did like this, Tracy, with this cocktail collection. I thought it was a good style for this card. Don't know if you were here when I showed it at the beginning. I've just left this bit at the bottom so I can put an age or something on, the happy birthday on. But the panels that came on that, the whole of that pina colada page, I just cut it out. And I don't think I've really got that much left, to be fair. I've used nearly every bit of it to decorate that, and it's lovely. I really like it. I was quite happy with that card as well. I thought it was a lovely one. And I know there was somebody else asking recently about ideas for using the cocktail couture one. So hopefully I'll post that one in the group, and then hopefully the person who it was will see it and will find it helpful. I'm not going to poke my hole in there yet. I'll do it after, I think. It'll be fine. I'll just put loads of these on here. And then we'll do the bones of the card. This is the nice bit where you just faff and fiddle, isn't it? Yeah, Michelle, I'm sorry it's a bad experience for you. I hope you managed to do it with the suggestions they've made. Yeah, I don't think I've ever really been claustrophobic, or it's not that I know that's another reason why I'm okay with my mask. I think for my CPAP that I'm okay with. Oh, that's a nice sort of drippy one. Will that fit on somewhere? With a bee and a drip. We'll have a bee and a drip. But these really do well when they're on the card. So we'll just do some bits and bobs. There's a nice little bit. We'll use that. Oh, that's a white one. I don't want to use a white one. Now I want to use I want to use my lilac ones. Stick some of these on and then I can decide what I need. Lovely. If you be a bit more careful than me when you're not rushing to use your space better. I really don't think I am, but I've got lots of little ones of these. I can use the space up. I don't throw anything away. So there's a little tiny one. I will go back in and use all of the little extra bits. Right, I'm just going to turn this over again. Yeah, the meditation, I found that really helped. But, you know, it's difficult, isn't it, if you're really anxious sometimes to actually do meditation. I started with breathing and just trying to control that, and then started just thinking about nice things. But if you're very anxious, you probably will benefit from using the beta blockers and whatnot that the doctor said to try. That's it. Hopefully they're sticking down a bit better. We've got Sam here as well. Hello, Sam. You've been a busy bee with your sale. Yeah, I've seen. I have got some things that I've spied in there that I would like. So that's good. Not that I need any more. I should actually be doing the same as you, Sam, and doing a declutter. You can see, definitely is not as good without Dawn's glue. There we go. And just that little edge of gold will help to just give that little bit lift that we need. Yeah, box breathing. I like box breathing. So box breathing is if you imagine a square and you shut your eyes and you imagine the square in your head, then you take your eyes to the top. I normally start at my top left hand corner because that's just a natural place for me, but you might have a natural corner you start with. And you trace your eyes along the top line as you breathe in for a count of something like 4. But whatever's comfortable for you. It might take a bit longer or a bit shorter. Usually 4 is quite a good number to start with. And then as you come down the right hand side of the square, you breathe out for the same count of 4. Because you've got a square, your breath in and your breath out is going to be the same length of time. And then as you're coming along the bottom of the square, you breathe in again for a count of 4. And then you come back up the last side as you're breathing out for a count of 4. And if you don't know how to do that with your eyes shut, to start with, you can just look at a window or a square shape. Might have a picture on the wall, and you can practice it by using that and just following your eyes around the shape. Some people find it difficult to do a square, so you can just breathe with a circle, or you can breathe with a triangle. There's lots of different ways of doing the shaped breathing that it helps some people to do different shapes. Rectangles can be nice because you can breathe in for a shorter time and breathe out for a longer time on the different sides. So yeah, have a look at box breathing, but if you struggle with it, you can adapt it to suit your breathing at the time. Give me a shout if you need any help with anything like that, because I used to teach people all these different breathing techniques and ways to deal with sort of panic and such like. I might still have a few things and resources I can signpost you to if I can remember. But there's loads of things on YouTube and such like as well if you look up box breathing. What have I missed? Angela, you saved me from getting those MDF bits. Oh, do I need them? I don't know. I saw the fairy door and I thought, oh, do you think I need a fairy door to do something with these little small things that we've got, like gnomes and fairies? I better get that. And then I've had one of those other shapes, the circle ones, before. I actually had all these embellishments on it, and I wanted to do it again as a sea theme. So I took them all off, but then I sort of wrecked it a little bit. It needs covering over, and I thought, oh, I'll have some new ones off Sam. See, these are the Stamperia ones that I've done, having a little side look at some shapes that you can get on the Stamperia moulds to do like little light lanterns and seaside things. So I've taken them off, but I've got some nice shells there, and I've tied those two together. Anyway, that's a little aside. So I was looking for things to do for Dawn's seaside thing. I have got so much, honestly. Yeah, it is good, isn't it, YouTube, Patsy? It's really good. And lots of the things, I know there's apps like Calm and Headspace that they give you so much free, but then they start hassling you to buy it. But actually, if you go on YouTube, without the pressure of them trying to sell you things, they've got quite a few of their bits and pieces that are on YouTube for free. So you can do it on there without using an app. And there's another one, an app that is completely free resources called Insight Timer. That's got loads of free resources on it, which change, sometimes, as people put things on and off. People put different resources on it. But it's got some nice sort of sleep music and meditation tracks on. So Insight Timer is a one that's completely free if you want an app. And I haven't ever been bothered by them to try to get anything paid, where Calm and Headspace will say, would you like to buy it? Yeah. So yeah, there's loads of resources, but if anybody needs any, just give me a shout and I'll see if I can find anything to signpost you to. If you haven't got enough energy to actually go and look for them, sometimes that's half the bother. Somebody will just say, oh, try this one. The problem is that we're all very different, so things that I find helpful and useful may not be to your sort of what you like. But because there's so many different resources, there's bound to be something out there that you'll find helpful to help with relaxing and calming. Just trimming away. I can't even tell if I'm in shot or whether I keep coming out of shot. Just want to get a few of these done so we can stick something on. I don't even have to do all of the sticking really. I can do that later, can't I? But we'll just do a little bit. I'll get that, leave that one ready. leave these ones ready just in case I need them. Go around it like that. Right, let's put those to the side for the minute. Now I'll bring this one in. Can't remember which way around all my, I think some of my flowers are upside down, but it doesn't matter. So I'm going to go for a little doily. I think we'll cut a little doily as well. We'll go for a little rectangular one. I think I'll do that quickly as well, so maybe not as neatly as you could do when you've got more time, because I have not got every single thing prepped for tonight. Sorry, I did do the bones of the actual card, sort of working out how to do it. So hopefully that's been a help and you can have a go at it, because it's not too hard once you've actually had a go at it once and then seen the principle of it. Then you can adjust it hopefully to your toppers and your different collections. But it's just something a bit different with the bees that I thought looked good. I think bees might like hexagons rather than octagons, but I don't think anybody's going to be picking me up on that. Maybe they like octagons as well. Right, there's a one there, so I could use one of those, and I think I could stand one of them on there. That'd be nice. And then I need a few flowers behind. So I think this is probably going to be me going away and decorating things like this later. I don't really think I want all of that on there. I probably want to just have a little bit of stuff behind. That's a bit too big. So I will need to go and find some better flowers to go around the back of there. And we will tie these little fellas together with a brad. What have I got up there that's a nice brad? Have I got anything that would go with them? I've got like a vintage one. I haven't got any gold ones, but we could always paint it gold. Yeah, I need to have some flowers peeking out, which is what I did with the one I did for Dawn. I did have little flowers peeking out. So I think with this one, I just poked a hole in and then stuck a brad to put them together. Just use my pokey thing. This brad might be a bit small, but it'll be all right. And hope I haven't gone all the way through to my card, because I was a bit vicious with that, wasn't I? Honestly. Put them two there. There. And I'll probably be able to get over the top of that with some paint on, or a bit of a gold marker of some kind, just to make it a gold bit. But that bit goes quite nicely in there. I think on the one I did for Dawn, it wasn't quite as fussy in terms of you know, all of the little bits and bobs that I had on it. It didn't have as many. The background I don't think was as much. Let's have a little look and see if I've got anything I can do. I want to break up that middle bit again as well. So perhaps we could break it up with a bit of that or a bit of lace. Have I got any lace? Oh, this is where I'm just faffing, and you don't really want to sit and watch me doing all this the whole time. I don't suppose. Let's go down there and get a bit of this. I like simple cards with less bling on. Yeah. Well, we all like different things, don't we? And I think it's just nice to see different styles. I did a really simple one last week, and then we've done a bit more this week with it. I'm not even measuring this very well. Let me get me hokey tool out. Let's do that. Don't mind a bit of faffing. They're always very nice to me. There we go. I could put a bit of that over the middle. I might put it on a bit of purple just to pick it up a little bit more on there. See if that makes it look a bit different behind. But I probably could sit here for ages doing this, so we may just do a little bit and then I can finish it off, ready to put online. I'm not really doing a very good job there of cutting. I'm doing a dawn Bibby there. Should have it all done beforehand, because now I've got a lovely scratchy edge. Use my trimmer to do that better. That's all right. I'll stick that across the middle. I can hear my door. They must be letting Albie out for a little bit. Put that in the middle. And then those little fellas can sit up on a thingamajigamy. Do I want to I think I probably want a doily on that one, so we'll put a doily on that end and a doily on that one, and I need to find some flowers, so I probably will have to finish this off later, because I've got lots of little round flowers, but I would like some sticky uppy flowers to go poking out the top. Let me see if I can find any for a minute. We'll pop the tape on the back of this just for now and stick that one in the middle. You can still move them around, so I will go with popping that one on like that, and then that one can be movable. And I might put a little sentiment under there. I would like that one on there with a little bit of the thing, and I would like some flowers. I don't know whether I've got, where are they? I've got some of my bee things here next to me, but I don't know if I've got the bits I want. Do you know what I might be able to do? I might cut it out of that, because that's got a little bit more, a little bit more something to it. Let me just get this. I've got loads of stuff. That looks a bit better. Right, let's go around here. Let's see what we can find. It's getting a bit chilly. My back door is open a bit, mind, so Albie could get in and out. I might have to go and close it, because I am getting a little bit on the chilly side. A little bit cold. What time are we? So what we want to do probably is finish off a little bit on this, and then we'll go and try the shape of the TP card, because I don't want to be on too late tonight with Isla being back home and haven't had a good chat with her really. So I'm just going to have a little go with all this. Let's see whether I can just do a little something with it so you can see the ideas, but you really just want to be decorating it all yourself, don't you? I keep going off the screen to do my snipping. Are you going to come and sit nicely, Albie? You're going to come and sit with me? You'll be a good boy. Albie, sit. Is he going to come and sit? Let's have a little look, because I want a bit of that behind. I don't need all of it. I just want some of it. So let me get rid of that bit on the bottom. Let's have a look. I'll go there like that. So I want to use them flowers. I'll go behind like that a little bit. Yeah, stick that on there. Whizzy fussy cutting. Oh. It's probably because I know you can't see whether it's really shocking or not. I can probably get away with a little bit when I'm on this far away. Get another little bit. Let's go for these bits. I don't want to waste anything. Could probably tuck that behind somewhere. Look. Maybe put that little bit down there behind it as well. Yeah, it won't take me too. I won't necessarily do the whole. I'm obviously not going to be popular because I'm not going to finish all the cards, but I can show you the start of the teepee one as well. We'll just get a little bit of that there, and I probably need some more. Have I got any more on this one? Nope. I'm just picking at things, aren't I? Let's get some more of these lavenders and see if I can pinch a bit more lavender out of there. Let's go with that. But I'm going to keep any of my little bits I'm not using. So I want to have that flower there. Let's go again on this one. And I'll just do it as a speedy. I'm not being that careful, to be fair. It'll be all right. Albie's not stayed, he's gone with Isla. He's just had a little look. Ooh, I can feel hear his little pitter patterings again. Let's have a little look behind there and see. I need yellow. See that? I don't want that now I've done it because it's more. I need yellow behind. You know what you need, don't you? So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to finish that one, but that's going to go there because I need to find different flowers that are more the colour I want. And I will be putting this one on here with a round, a roundy doily. I'll give you the idea of that, and then I think I'll finish it over the next day. I'm not going to go around that very carefully. It's a bit tricky. But you get the idea. The main part of it was to show you the shape. And I know you like to see finished cards, so I'm a bit bad, but I shall finish it off and post it. Otherwise you're just going to be sitting watching me cutting loads of things out and being indecisive. I don't think I want that, so I'm going to put that one on there, but I'm going to cut it a bit. Is that one too big? Let's have a think. I don't want it there, so I'm going to put it on there like that way. And what it's like that. But then I actually like to put that little bit there. I'm going to do that. Put that bit there to go around a little bit, and I would like a little bit there as well. That's it. And put that one there. So stick that on the bottom with my glue. That's all we need. That one there, and then I'm going to put this little fella on that bit. Just to go around the back of it. That's making sense. Oh, that's all right, Jackie. I shall be finishing shortly. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope it made sense and that you can actually have a go at the card. And this one I will really probably have to get it put onto my YouTube for you, because there's a lot to be fiddling with, isn't there, on it. There we go. So I'll fiddle around and faff about with that a little bit more. And we'll be putting loads of little flowers on and little bits of these things. And I'll put a sentiment on. I'll cut some bees out. Oh, there's a bee there. The bee might come over here where that flower is. But you can see what the main idea is. And it's just about then, you know, playing with it all. Seeing what you want to do. So there you go. So I'm hoping that that has worked for you to see how to make the card. Just shove them all off there a minute and you can have another look at it when it will fold. That bit goes back, that bit goes back. Just give it a little hand if it's not plain, and there you go. And that will be the idea of your card. So I'll finish off the decoration for you. That's bigger than the one I did for Dawn. If you want it to be smaller, just scale down the size of your hexagon or your octagon. And if you're doing a hexagon, don't forget that it'll be easier for you to draw around it with your straight side here and your point at the top. And the width of your card will be the width of your shape for each section. So that'll be your third and your third and your third. And then your halfway line will come down to that point. So that'd be nice to do as well. Maybe I'll do one of them. So there you go. So that's that one. And we have got a finished one, which I did earlier in the cocktail couture one. Put a bit of bling all over that one. So that's nice for a celebratory card. And put those out the way. And just for a very, very quick go, I have got 3 bits of card. This is the shape of the teepee, and then you decorate it. So let me just quickly do that. Night, Jackie, thanks for joining us, and hopefully see you Sunday night for Dawn's Live. Right, so we've got 3 squares. I have cut these squares at, I do believe they are 5-inch squares. That's what I used. So 5-inch square. I'm going to pop it on the score board. I am going to go from point to point, corner to corner on my scoreboard. My little one. Find my middle and go to the bottom. I'm using the 4. So I'm going to put my top point on the top, line my bottom one up. So I should be going middle to point. Now, if you're worried about that at all, then you could, you could just use your trimmer. Not your trimmer, your ruler. Oh, you see my words are just going now, so it must be nearly time to finish because I can't find my words anymore. Right, I'm going to do that with all these pieces. Hopefully this is me just doing it from memory. So let's hope. I've got one more card to show you, Sam, that I did at the very start. And I'm just going to do this shape for Sarah. Hope that she's actually going to make one herself. So I've got that. This is where things are going to be scored at some point. So I'm going to bring that one round. And I'm going to do that one as well. Down the point to point. And hopefully I'm getting it right. Point to point. Diddly-dee. And then this one, I'm going to have my diamond shape for the square with the score down the middle there. So I'm going to get this and we are going to put them together like this. So the 2 squares are going to be laid square to square with the score line to make a triangle. And then this diamond one we're going to put over, lining up our crease, and that's going to be a diamond point. So to put this together, I'm just going to do one bit at a time, and go online, and Sam Colcott has done the video that I have used to do this. So we're going to make sure that we put the glue in the right place. I'll just get a little pencil line on there which I can rub out, and then I'm going to glue that section. So this actually, if I can do it from memory, is not a difficult shape really, and then you just need to do your matting and layering to decorate it. So put your diamond on, put this underneath, and go to the point, get your point at the top, and wrap that round so you know that it's going to be there. Now I haven't done this yet, so we're just going to hope that it is going to work. This is my first try from memory. Next one, I'm going to put that one underneath as well, and they're going to line up. Just put me a little bit there so I don't get the glue in the wrong place. So the idea is you've got a diamond on the front card, and then the other two are, what's that one? They're coming over like that. Probably got a bit of extra glue on there. So they go like that. So you can see on the back my two squares, and then my diamond shape of the third card on there. Now I'm going to hopefully score everything and fold everything there. Now if you look, when hopefully we've done that right, I've got my score lines a little bit off because I'm not doing it very quickly, very slowly, but you can fold it up to a square once you've made it. Then what we're going to do is bring the two back bits round and tuck them across each other like that, and then there's your shaped card. Yeah, so if we look here, that bit's sort of butting up a little bit there. I need to put my better glue on, but if I look that way, I've got a nice edge. So I'm going to choose this as my front so that I can see that nice edge there when I'm looking at it. That's it. And that's your shape. That is a teepee. So what Sam did to stick it together at the back, she used a little bit of Velcro dot on the corner and then popped it over and stuck the Velcro here so that you Velcroed it together. And then you can undo it so you can post it flat in a card envelope. You can do any size squares you want and take a bit more time making sure all your things are scored and burnished and put together, because it makes a difference. I'm probably a little bit off because I haven't done the I didn't do the scoring and that and the burnishing properly, but that's the teepee card. Yeah, and then it's just about decorating it. So that would be my front, and all that you could need to do for that is, I might have them here if I remembered. Did I do a couple of little shapes? Where did I put them? Because I had some little normies for Sarah ready. Oh, he's starting now. This is the time I need to be going because Albie starts. All I did was cut the squares of a piece of card to mat and layer for on there, cut it in half and mat each triangle. So what I'll do is I'll do it as a little mini video for you and pop it on so Sarah can see the finished way of doing it. But yeah, I can do the teepee, Sarah. So that was the challenge, was to make a teepee card. Fortunately, there's lots of people already done it on Facebook, on YouTube. So anything you're not sure of, usually you can find it. And you can work it out if you can't. So like the template that we've done today, just a little bit of deconstructing and you can work it out. Same as deconstructing my gift bag. I made you a nice gift bag deconstructing it. But anything else that you want me to deconstruct, because I seem to be able to see things and deconstruct them. I'm coming.
No, I'm not asking for you to come.
Yeah, I am, because he's starting his barking. That's what we did at the start. Just a simple card using Dawn's window and doors set and her curtains, which I've cut down and just put a little bit of sparkle on with the stickles and made that into a card. So that was the first one that was just our quickie. Then we've got our shape card that we've done. That one's finished apart from my sentiment and my big number. Hi Deb, I'm just about to finish. You'll have to watch back. Sorry, got my daughter visiting, so I'm trying to get finished a bit early today. And I didn't have enough embellishments cut out to finish off the B card. But I've shown everybody how to make it. So watch back and see how to do it. Push those little fellas in the back. I don't want to come back. That's it. So you can see that one. And there's the one I made earlier in that. And we made that one. So very, very simple with Dawn's curtains over the top of one of our windows. I've done a little bit of gold on the top as if it's a curtain pole, and I've added stickles. And I've made my own card shape because it was quite large, just using 2 bits of card, which I've stuck together to make the card. So that was really a nice simple starter one we did. So I hope you've enjoyed that tonight. I shall finish decorating this and post it. I shall finish this one off to show you how to do the TP. We can always do that at the start of another live as something to finish off, can't we? Because I like to have something that's just that we know what we're doing easy on a live at the start. So I'll have a look, and if I don't get a chance to get it finished because I've got Isla visiting, we'll finish it off at the beginning of the next live, and I can just quickly recap on how to do that TP, because I have done it a little bit wonky. It is a little bit wonky, but there you go. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. Sorry, I'm going to cut it short a little bit tonight, but thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope that you've worked out how to do this card now with me. Any questions though, please just send me a message and I can help a little bit more if you're getting stuck. But the top tip is have a go on a piece of photocopier, plain paper, cheap paper. Have a go on there first so you get the idea of what you're doing. And thank you very much for joining me. And I will take some pictures. Oh, you've got a screenshot so you can try it. That's great. Well, I'll try and get it uploaded onto YouTube as well, so that it'll be there permanently, and then you'll be able to watch it back many times. Hopefully I've explained it well enough. But thanks everybody. Thanks for watching back if you're here with me on catch up, and have a good weekend everybody. And we'll see you on Sunday night, all being well, with Dawn. And then back to the usual for Lorraine on Tuesday next week. I'm just working out with Wesley. We've got a few things coming up. Might do a few open days with unis. So I'm just going to have a little look and see if there's anything that's clashing. And I might change my live to a different night. But it'll be either Friday or Saturday, all being well. But yes, I'll take some photographs for you, Michelle, for the newsletter. And thank you for doing that newsletter, because it's really good, and it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So everybody knows what's happening, when it's happening, and they can see Dawn's fabulous products. So that's been a really good thing for you to do. Thank you very much. And thanks everybody. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you Sunday night. Bye. Take care. Do you my little heart to say take care everybody. And if there's anything you need about cards that you've seen and you want some help, give me a shout on the messenger, no problem. Or if you want any links for relaxation that we talked about and breathing techniques, you can also message me on for that as well. Okay, Bye everyone, take care. Bye.